I think that's the one thing I've actually learned from this journey. Is just to appreciate every day that you get given, do you know what I mean? Because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow.
Since 2009, have performed at Capital Summertime and Jingle Bell Ball 8 times. A band who have a brand new song out called Rule the World. And I can't quite believe, because I was gutted the first time, that I finally get to interview them as a full band. It is The Wanted! Yay! Guys, I mean, it is incredible. We're finally here in the studio, all as one, all together. I know, Max, obviously, you've been in here a couple of times. Nathan, obviously, we've done interviews.
A couple of times?
Yeah.
I've got a bed downstairs.
You know, looking back on it, can you believe that, you know, the first single in 7 years you're bringing out today? I mean, what does that feel like, Max, as a band, to do that?
I know, I've been looking forward to this for 7 years, pretty much. Yeah, just delighted, and it's so good to be back with the boys and like seeing the fans again, and obviously and doing the show that we did at the Albert Hall that you were there for. Yeah. So special, and just can't wait for the journey ahead now. So hope everyone likes the song.
Oh, do you know what? The vibe of you guys is so nice. Like, you're all legitimate friends. You're all having a good time. I do want to start a bit of beef, though, obviously. It's good to do that, isn't it?
Please. Been there before. Let's not go back there.
It ruined us last time.
How to end your own career.
Not amongst yourselves. I want to start some rival boy band sort
that's
of
what
beef.
we were on about.
That is what we're on about. Let's not go there.
No.
New song, Rule the World. Obviously, we've got to mention that Take That had that song, right? Who's the better boy
Be
band?
honest, Nathan, is Gary Barlow going to be calling you up?
Probably not. He ain't got my number, but I think
Nathan.
I think it's definitely in the top 3 songs that a boy band has released called "Rule the World," and that's all I'm going to say on the matter.
Who's the other band that did it?
No, I meant us. That's
You said top 3.
yeah. No, I was just leaving room for someone else.
Just in
Very
case.
kind.
Now, you're also set to release a greatest hits album. Now, it's called Most Wanted: The Greatest Hits. Now, this might be quite an intense question, because I genuinely feel like you boys have actually got some bangers between you. What is the best The Wanted song? Ooh. Like, when you think about it, what would you say is your best song? Because there is a lot to choose from.
It's easy for us to say different strokes for different folks. You know, some people will listen and disagree with some other people's thoughts. Glad You Came blew us up and took us around the world. So that's sort of like a certain type of pinnacle, but we all have our little babies that we love, like All Time Low as a first song.
Oh,
Yeah.
like that's a banger.
I still remember
That felt
the
like
video
the golden ticket. What, you remember the kicking
the
rubble
flares.
around?
Kicking rubble around,
The flares. Do you remember it?
Honestly, that felt like a golden ticket. Like, we'd been doing club tour, school tour, blah, 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 blah. But when that came out, we went, we're at a band!
Saw it on TV, I was like, are we famous? Oh my God, I think we're famous. That is literally what I thought. I was like, oh my God.
The first few months, Tom would wind down his window every now and again and be like, we're famous!
He still does it now.
We actually did that once. It rolled the window open and you shouted, "We're famous," and the other window opened and Kerry Katona was sat in the car.
right.
And what did she say? So am I!
I want to ask, man. I mean, you're going back out on tour. You guys are going to be super, super busy. Now, I mean, what can we expect from the tour? Because we've seen you perform at Balls Gone By, and it's always such a big performance. More of the same, or something a little bit different this time around?
A lot of the same, old tracks and some new tracks. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing all the fans again.
Yeah.
And performing the new songs and just being with the boys and having a great time.
It must be that thing where, though, you're looking out and you're going, oh, she's still following us around the world. She's still there. I'm pretty sure I've signed that person's chest about 13,000 times.
Who do you think's the rowdiest crowd, like when you're going up and down the country?
Manchester are always a good crowd, actually, aren't they?
It's true.
Very passionate.
Passionate is such a good way of putting it.
I think Glasgow.
Yeah.
We were
I feel like the
pretty full on.
North brings some power, you know? You Londoners need to sort yourselves out a little bit.
Hey,
Well, you
don't
say
time
that,
me
you
with
say that,
brush.
but London was voted the best city in the world for live music the
Yeah,
other
probably
day.
by Londoners.
It was actually readers of the Telegraph. The fans on Instagram, Twitter, they're still strong as ever for you guys. It is crazy, isn't it?
Oh, they love you. I mean, we've had a very interesting text here from Denise in Loughborough.
Gone, Denise.
Great start.
Denise has gone right in. She says, I want to know what sort of chat goes down in the Wanted's WhatsApp group and who is the filthiest in there.
Tom Parker.
Honestly, don't want to
Tom,
know.
Tom's.
What is the name of the group?
The actual one.
The actual wanted.
We have like a lot of chats now, and it'll be us with management, us with label, us with whoever else. And now I think it's just easier for us, like, okay, the actual wanted, us 5 in there. And there's been a few times that Tom has had to voice note apologies to our PR team because he has, I think I can say, them off.
Yeah, fan.
On a audio clip
I get a bit
to
confused.
them, and then goes, apologies team for that.
So awkward.
Oh no!
Tail between your legs going, sorry.
Wrong chat, Tom. Wrong chat.
Yeah.
Sonny and I were really fortunate recently. Obviously, we were there. We were honoured, Tom, that you asked us to host your show. I mean, Inside My Head at the Royal Albert Hall was unbelievable for Stand Up to Cancer. I mean, how did it feel getting out there and performing again? Tom, I guess that moment, like when the lights went up and you saw the people there.
First of all, I just want to say a massive thanks to you two as well for doing that.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, boys.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty special moment, to be honest. It was just, the atmosphere in there was incredible. Just even hearing it from backstage and that, I was just like, oh my God, I've got to walk out on stage. I can't even walk properly. That is literally my thoughts. Because obviously I'm still trying to get the fitness side back.
Yeah.
So like even that walk into stage is just like, can we get on stage? Is it okay? So I had some support the side of me, and that was all. Yeah, it was all good. It was great actually.
It was this epic moment where the lads were all kind of sat around. It was like you were recreating that moment, that picture, that famous little bit. I mean, Nathan, when the music kicked in, did you worry at some point, am I going to forget the lyrics?
Tom, did you?
Someone else.
Can't do that.
Someone had to.
He was singing the line before, and then the crowds were singing it back to him. It was like he was
That is
encouraging
what
them.
it was like, wasn't it?
Yeah, mate, you got away with it. You absolutely nailed it. It was just an amazing moment, though. It was so overwhelming. But like my favourite part of the whole show was watching Tom's face, like performing. It was just an amazing moment. But watching the documentary back the other day, it was seeing the clips of Tom that obviously I wasn't seeing. Because he's just behind me. I was just like,
It was a cry in my eyes. Like, everyone was all huddled around me, and I was just like, oh God.
I think the other thing is as well that from watching the TV show, you didn't realise, we all knew Tom was kind of nervous and stuff, especially about like your movement and that, but the pressure that he felt under doing that show, watching the show the other day, and the way that he pulled it off was incredible. Like even we didn't realise how much pressure he put on himself to perform at that show, and then he absolutely smashed it.
I was actually going to ask about that. How did you boys actually feel watching the documentary? Because obviously you were part of that night at the Royal Albert Hall, and you probably would have been bits and like in and out of what was going on with Tom at the time. How did it actually feel watching it all together?
I think anyone that watched it was sort of seen how up and down and what's the word? It pulled you around to watch it, and that's been Tom's life for the past year. And parts of it we've seen, and parts of it are just entirely Tom's thoughts. And so, I mean, Tom has always been so strong. Tom, you've always like gone in during the Wanted meetings and just been this like force. I hate seeing you cry. Like it's like watching Dad cry. You know what I mean? So I didn't enjoy that, but I also think that it was entirely necessary for you to share where you're at, and people are witnessing it, and people are giving to you for that reason, because you were vulnerable, and I'm really proud that you did it.
100%. You've been so inspiring. And do you have any like advice for anybody going through anything similar?
You just have to live your life. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think we're all guilty of it. Cancer diagnosis or not, we all just, we all get taken away with every day.
Yeah.
We don't really have a moment to just sit there and just appreciate what we've got. And I think that's the one thing I've actually learned from this journey, is just to appreciate every day that you get given. Do you know what I mean? Because none of us are guaranteed tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
100%. Mate, look, from all of us here, I mean, congratulations on the doc.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an incredibly hard thing to do. And I mean that genuinely from a tiring perspective. There must have been days where you thought, I can't have a camera in my face, please.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you how I feel for the 17,000th time.
Yeah, there was times where it's like, guys, can you just give us 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you said.
The football's on. I just want to watch the football.
When they finished filming at the Albert Hall, they kind of came in. They were like, "Oh, thanks, Tom. It's been a pleasure." And Tom's like, "Yeah, all right, yeah, see ya." He was just so ready.
There is a moment in the doc where Aurelia closes the door on the cameraman. She's sick of it too. It was the cutest thing ever.
Tom's infant child barely walks, but walks to close the door because she's aware that Daddy doesn't want to see these cameras.